I was accepted into this year's FFA choir. It's national and 80 to 90 students. I'm not for sure how many and I was accepted to be a part of it. I had to audition online and send it in. There are 1 million members in FFA this year, and I was chosen to be a part of this. It's an honor. Yeah.
So how did you find out about the audition, and do you have an interest in singing beyond FFA? So maybe a little bit about that background. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm a part of Counterpoints this year. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I'm also in FFA, and I saw this online. I've went to convention before. Our school usually spends about 2 days down there, and we go to sessions, and we get to meet a bunch of people. There's a lot of opportunities to talk with colleges and different businesses, and that's how I learned about being a part of the FFA choir. I love singing, and I thought this would be a good opportunity for me.
Wonderful. Are there any other conversation pieces from the board? Maybe some other questions you'd like to ask her? This is very exciting. I know our FFA program is growing and very robust, and I know if Amy were here, she would be all over this with counterpoints and singing, because that's a passion that she had in school. I just think it's great that you're using an interest in singing, but also it fits within your academic plan and interest with FFA. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So the big show is coming up, right?
Oh, yeah, it's next week.
Like you said, oh, yeah.
We need a date.
I leave the 25th, and I get back on November 1st. I'm there all week in Indianapolis, and
Is that part of the National FFA convention?
Yes, it is, in Indy.
So I had asked Ava to come, and she was on the news, a couple weeks ago. But she might have to come back, and if we have some video from the convention,
Oh,
we
yeah.
might have to just continue to embarrass you.
We also thank you for the forewarnings. When we go and support the Terre Haute North Marching Band and the Terre Haute South Marching Band at Bands of America, there's going to be a lot of FFA people walking the streets as well. So in other words, downtown
yeah.
Indianapolis is going to be crowded, is what you're telling us.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're lucky Ava is a junior, so we have her at North for a little while longer on counterpoints and doing the great things that she does.
Are you automatically, once you have joined the choir, are you able to, or will you be automatically in next year, or do you have to try out again?
I have to send in another audition video.
I think you should be a shoe-in already.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to from this experience?
I'm looking forward to meeting the people that come from all the states. They take people from all 50 states, and I am very grateful that I was one chosen out of the so many that they had to choose from.
Can I just ask, how does the arranging going with people from all over the country? Have you guys been practicing online, or they just send music and then you practice at the convention?
So 2 weeks ago, they sent me the music, and so they sent me the sheet music, and I've been working closely with my voice coach, and she's been helping me a lot with it. And whenever I get to the convention on Saturday, I'll have a few rehearsals leading up to our first performance.
Wonderful. Well, Ava, congratulations, and thank you for representing BCSC and just following your passion and doing what you love to do. So I am so excited to have you come back and be embarrassed with us a little bit longer.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Good job. Yeah.
Before you sit down, will you come up and get a photo with all of us, please?
Yes, of course.
You tell us where to go.
You're welcome to come up and take your own photo, though,
Yes,
if you want.
please.
That's usually my dad, that's behind the camera.
I notice that you're holding.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great time.
Thank you.
I believe so.
Next, we have Avery Castle from Terre Haute South Golf. If you want to come up, and we'll embarrass you too.
So you may recognize Avery. She's been a standout golfer for South. Her grandmother is here, who you might also know as Mrs. Castle at Dixie V. But Avery's a senior. She just finished the season at regionals. I told her that if I had had more time, I was going to ask Abe Nasser to write down all of her great accomplishments, and he would have had to spend the whole day doing it. But Avery is a standout golfer, a great person, super involved at South, and so I wanted her to come and just tell you guys a little bit about her season, her plans for the future, and just give her a spotlight, just as we did with Ava. So
Welcome,
take it
Avery.
away. No.
We would love to hear a little more.
But she's not, just like Ava, she's not going to brag on herself, so you guys are going to have to
We're gonna have to
ask her
pry
some
it out of her.
questions.
Well, first, tell us a little bit about your season and how long you have been a golfer.
So kind of growing up, I was always into basketball, and then my dad being the golf coach at South, I kind of got into it and started taking it more seriously my 8th grade year. And then I knew I wanted to play in high school, and I knew it was going to take a little bit more in me to practice and to get in that top 5 position. So after those 3 years, I had a really good season. Sophomore year, I had a really good team. And then we lost those top 3 players, and then junior year. And then senior year, we were able to win as a team for conference. That was our 3rd year in a row. And then sectionals, we also won, which is 4 years in a row. So those were
Wow.
pretty 2 good accomplishments for our team.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are there,
Can you beat your dad?
Oh, no, not yet. I'm getting there. Maybe a year, and then I'll get them.
There, I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
So which course do you find to be the easiest one of the ones that you played, and which ones give you the most struggle and you really have to concentrate on?
I'd say Forest Park in Brazil is probably the easiest. It's probably one of the shorter courses that we play, especially from the girls' tees. And then the most challenging for me has been Cascades in Bloomington. I don't know why, but I've struggled there all 4 years. Just been that course. I just shoot the highest score there. So maybe I can go play it and try to, I don't know. I just always struggle there, so.
so I talked with a friend, she's a mom of a freshman at Franklin College, but this daughter's roommate is on the golf team there, and several team members have left, and so now they have to play individually, and it just leads me, like, how many do you have to have for a team? I don't know a lot about golf, so I would love to
Yeah.
have a little bit of education.
So usually you play 4 or you play 5 and take the best 4 scores.
Okay.
So there's always one score that won't count, which is good, because then you can kind of rely on your teammates, maybe if I have a bad day, I can rely on one of them to have a good day. But yeah, usually in college, sometimes they'll take 6 and have them play as an individual, but most of the time it's take 5 and then keep those top 4 scores.
So the next question, what are your future plans?
I'm undecided on where I'm going to go. I'd like to play in college, so that's kind of taken time. I've been on a few visits and talked to a few coaches. But I like to major in nursing and hopefully be a nurse practitioner one day.
I love that.
Fantastic.
That is great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love having you here this evening, and Ava as well, just that we can highlight our students and the amazing things you guys are doing, and it's just so diverse what we offer, and that you guys take advantage of that. Thank you for coming and sharing with us, and if you ever want to come back, I know you have Katie's information, that we would welcome you anytime. But congratulations, thank you for all that you're doing and that school spirit you have.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It was fun following it, but you probably noticed that there's someone with a camera who's coming up here and asking if you will get your photo taken.
More
So
girls. I was like, they know Katie now, and they have to.
give a warm round of applause for both of our young ladies that are here this evening. Thank you guys for coming and the family that you brought with you. At this time, you are more than welcome to stay for the remainder of our meeting, but if you would like to sneak out, that is absolutely appropriate at this time. Thank you, guys. Good luck for the rest of your year. At this time, we have the first call for citizens' comments. These are on agenda items only, and I'm kind of briefly looking over. And I believe these are, I think we have one, the financial report. Jody? Would you prefer to go at the end? That's fine. Okay. I'm not seeing anyone on here that has listed agenda items only, but I want to make sure I didn't miss that. So I'll save all of these for second comment, or the second time. So moving on, we'll move on to our consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, well, I'm sorry, if there are any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstain? Thank you. Moving on to our new business, the personnel report and professional leave request. Mr. Michael Cox.
Good evening, administration. Request approval of personnel and professional leave report is presented this evening.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel report and professional leave request as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the personnel report and professional leave request. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Well, seeing none, at this time, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed or abstain?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Next is our accounts payable docket. Mrs. Donna Wilson.
Good evening. The Board Finance Committee met last Thursday evening to review the docket that's presented in your packet this evening. No members of the public were present that evening. The following claims were pulled for clarification and further review. Escola, $464,945.25. That was partial payment on the 2025 roofing project that's currently being undertaken at Lost Creek Elementary School. I believe it was Pay App 1. That's paid from general obligation bond funds. C.H. Garmong, $1,209,392.25. That is two pay applications on the high school HVAC projects. This payment represents the final pay applications attributable to the ESSER 3 funds. So we will be drawing the last bit of our ESSER 3 funding to reimburse ourselves for those payments. We are currently working on that with C.H. Garmong, and we hope to come to a total conclusion here with that project shortly. Riverside Technology, $16,275. That was for 25 Acer Chrome boxes, and those were purchased for Covered Bridge Special Education District, and Covered Bridge did reimburse us for those devices. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer those at this time. If not, I present the October docket for your approval.
Thank you, Donna. I make a motion to pass the October accounts payable docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the accounts payable docket for October. Are there any questions or comments from the board? I just want to share, I'm not currently on that committee, but I did pop in, and it was it's always a good time, one, to talk outside of the normal business hours, one, that it's open to the public, but to always, I stepped right in, asked a couple of questions, and you answered them immediately. I'm always appreciative of the work that you and your team do, Donna, so thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I feel like I may have cut someone off. Seeing none, we do have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstain? Thank you. Moving on to our 2026 budget approval, Mrs. Donna Wilson.
Included in your board packet this evening are the resolutions that complete the 2026 budget adoption process. If approved, these documents will be uploaded to Gateway this week in accordance with guidelines established by the Department of Local Government Finance. Tonight's packet includes the following resolutions. Budget Form 4, which is the ordinance or resolution for appropriations and tax rates. This form lists all budgeted funds, education operations, debt service, operating referendum, and the inland casino fund, and includes the proposed budgets, levies, and tax rates that have been reviewed during the last 2 board meetings. Please remember that there was no budget presented again this year for the rainy day fund. With that said, let's take a look at the form. As part of our ongoing due diligence, the administration proposes that the board consider a modification to the original proposed tax levies that were discussed during previous budget presentations. The Form 4 shown here includes a reduction in the levy requested for the operating referendum fund from $9.9 million to $7 million, which reduces the adopted tax rate from 16.22 cents to 13.85 cents. This reduction in levy returns the operating referendum levy to the level it was when originally presented to the public back in 2019 for the question. Budgets shown on the Form 4 remain unchanged, totaling just over $180 million, with an advertised tax levy now of just under $50 million, a reduction from our original presentation of nearly $53 million. The far right column is the adopted tax rate, and you can see the total now is at $1.20, down from our initial estimate of just under $1.23. Please remember that this Form 4 reflects the assumptions used throughout our budgeting process, and we did, in fact, include a reduction in assessed value that we now are confident will be increased dramatically during the DLGF's budget review process. So I've prepared this slide to illustrate what we believe to be where we think we're going to be when the actual tax rate and levy are approved. And I'm always asked this at the end of this presentation, so I hope this helps you. We've included comparative data on this slide from 2025 to provide some perspective. You can see the total combined 2025 levy was just under $46.8 million with a 97.61 cent tax rate. In the 2026 anticipated tax levy column, we've reduced the operations fund levy to $29 million to reflect the 4% allowed levy growth based on the state's growth quotient, and substituted in the $7 million operating referendum levy to now show the total anticipated approved levy of right at $49 million. In the 2026 anticipated tax rate column, we recalculated the tax rate using the county's recently released assessed value that increased overall by about 12%. With these changes reflected, we anticipate the 2026 combined tax rate to be about 90.53 cents, which would be an overall reduction in our combined tax rate of over 7 cents. Keep in mind that these calculations are dependent on the increased assessed value, but this is our best estimate at this time. The DLGF review will hopefully be completed by the end of the calendar year, so we will have updated figures hopefully in December. The next 2 documents are the resolutions adopting the capital projects and bus replacement plans as presented in your budget books that you received at the last meeting. The CPF plan is a 3-year plan for capital expenditure, and the bus replacement plan is a 5-year snapshot of anticipated bus replacements. Keep in mind that by statute, buses are on a 12-year replacement cycle, even though the published and proposed plan covers only the first 5 years of that cycle. We feel this budget reflects our continuing efforts to promote fiscal responsibility as we acknowledge our responsibility to the taxpayers of Vigo County. With that said, we respectfully request approval of the required 2026 budget documents presented in your board packet this evening. I believe that these 3 items should be considered separately for DLGF purposes. Thank you for your patience as we've worked together through this process. We appreciate your help.
So just for clarification, we're going to vote on each 1, 2, and 3 separately in the budget
Correct.
approval process. So we'll
Correct.
need 3 separate motions for approval.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance or resolution for appropriations tax rate budget form 4.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for the number 1 of the 2026 budget approval of the ordinance or resolution for appropriations and tax rates. Are there questions or comments from the board?
Just for clarification, this is a reduction in tax levy by over 7 cents. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
We also can point out that our 97 cents was below the state median, and so this 90 cents that we're proposing will be even further below the median.
This form shows the $1.20, but that's based on the 15% reduction in AV, which will be addressed when the budget is finally reviewed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing no other questions or comments, we do have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance or resolution for appropriations and tax rates. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstain? Thank you. Next is the number 2 resolution to adopt the bus replacement plan.
I propose approval to the resolution to adopt the bus replacement plan.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for a resolution to adopt the bus replacement plan. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstain? Thank you. And moving on to 3, resolution to adopt the capital projects fund plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution to adopt the capital projects fund plan.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, we do have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution for the capital projects fund plan. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed or abstain? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
At this time, we are moving on to the second call for citizens' comments, and I do have several here. As I call you up, please, if I say your name wrong, please correct me. I apologize in advance. But also, we don't use any identifying names or personnel status within the corporation, and we promote professional decorum and just share your information, but be kind in doing so. At this time, Mark Klinkenbeard, support for consolidation. Thank you for coming this evening and welcome.
Good evening, school board members, Dr. Hemsel. First, I'd just like to thank you for this opportunity to speak tonight. I want to start by recognizing the time, effort, and heart this board has dedicated to moving our community forward. These conversations aren't easy, but they are necessary, and they show that Vigo County is serious about planning for the future. The commissioners stand in support of collaboration and transparency. We believe the best outcomes happen when leaders work together openly and with respect to make decisions that serve students, families, and taxpayers alike. We all share the same goal, to ensure our schools are safe, modern, and built to meet the needs of today's learners and tomorrow's workforce. When we invest in education, we're investing in economic growth, quality of life, and the long-term strength of Vigo County. I want the public to know that your county leadership is committed to partnership, not division, and to finding responsible solutions that reflect the pride and potential of this community. Thank you for your continued leadership and for your dedication to the families of Vigo County. Together, we can make sure every decision made here today helps secure a stronger tomorrow for our students and our county. Thank you.
Thank
Mark.
you.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm sorry, I forgot to give the reminder that you have 3 minutes to speak, and the timer is up on the screens. Next, I believe it's Mel Booth. Is that correct? Absolutely. Hi, Mel. The subject is reorganization. I'm doing well. Thank you for coming this evening and welcome.
This was the information I was given. If it's incorrect, you'll just have to bear with me for a minute. But I recently learned about the plan for reorganization. It involves the West Terre Haute children. I'm talking to little guys now, I'm not talking high school. But as I understand it, the kids from West Terre Haute are gonna be bused to Fayette. The time a driver makes his route in West Terre Haute, picks all the kids up, now I'm talking 6, 7-year-old kids, it's gonna take probably about an hour for those kids to get out to New Goshen. Now, let alone going around Robinson Road and Darwin Road is gonna add about 15 more minutes onto that. And then if you go out by state line out by Westfield, it's gonna probably be another 15 minutes because they have to come to West Terre Haute before they ever get on 150 to go up to Fayette. So I'm concerned about those. And again, I'm talking 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. I'm not talking high school kids. High school kids have been brought to West Vigo since 1960. Kids from Libertyville, Shirkyville, Shepherdsville, all the outlying areas, and that's not been a problem. But if I were a caring, concerned parent, and I lived on Robinson Road, to put my 6-year-old on that school bus to head to New Goshen after they run a full route here in the West Terre Haute area, I just think I'd have to be crazy not to be concerned about that. As a person with a child in West Terre Haute or in the outlying areas, I would think seriously about taking that child with me to Terre Haute to go to a local school there, a private school, home school. If I lived on state line, I'd be looking at the distance to Marshall, and there again, we'd lose another kid to another county, and we've got kids that go to other counties, don't fool yourself. And that's lost revenue for us. You know, at first, when the kids go up there, it's gonna be fun for a couple of days. But after that, the kids would tire from the hours on the bus. And when kids tire, they do not learn. Kids need to be alert when they're learning, and I don't think they will be when they're fatigued. And also, when a child is tired, their immunity drops. Any illness, cold, sore throats, whatever, and their immunity's down, the children are likely to be susceptible to that, and that also impacts learning when they're not feeling well and when they're not in school. Can you imagine a bus driver hauling 40, 50 kids, little guys with ADHD, trying to keep those guys under control? We might be looking for bus drivers for 10 times out of the year. The final words, I want to keep these people in West Terre Haute happy, because if we do a referendum, there's a lot of votes on this side of the river. And do bear that in mind. All I want to do is just, what you have right now is a bad plan, and I hope you can do a little better on something for the kids here in West Terre Haute. And again, I'm just talking little people, I'm not talking to high school. Thank you very much, my time's up.
Thank you. Next, I have Rose Taylor with the subject of clubs. Hi, Rose, welcome.
Good.
Your time will start when you begin.
Okay. Hello, my name is Rose Taylor. I'm a junior at Terre Haute South. Today I would like to speak with you all about something that recently happened with me and my peers.
You might need to get a little closer to the microphone.
Okay, thank you. I went to South's Turning Point Club to see what it was about. I don't align myself with some values that the man who started it originally preached, and I wanted to be sure that the club wouldn't create more divide in the school and create harmful rhetoric. I decided to record the meeting because I wanted to protect my fellow students and myself, because I had heard the teacher's opinions before and heard rumors of previous issues that had happened with him. Indiana is a one-party consent state, and there was nothing in the school handbook that solidly prohibited audio recording, so my actions were completely legal. The meeting started very cordially with the student leaders introducing the club, things like that. However, everything changed when one of my friends raised her hand. She politely asked about the club's ideals and whether or not queer people would be welcomed and accepted and included in this club. The teacher interrupted the student leaders who were going to respond and responded in a way to her which I viewed as violating her dignity. My friend was yelled at for asking a simple question. He claimed that her existence was not harmed by this club or threatened. She tried to speak up and comment that she didn't mean it in a disrespectful way like that, but he interrupted her once again. He claimed he was protecting freedom of speech for the club and students, but where was hers? Were the only people in this room who had the freedom to express an opinion a specific type of student? Was that truly liberty and justice and freedom of speech for all? Frankly, I found these words hypocritical on this teacher's behalf. And more, it broke my heart to see my friend crying while this teacher yelled at her. An educator should not be using their position as an authority figure to harm a child. It was simply unjust. The actions from this teacher were unprofessional and wrong. I felt like it was right to share my experiences with you all today and ensure the safety of each and every single student at South. Thank you for allowing me to share my concerns, and have an excellent night.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you for sharing.
Next, I have Jody Akinbo. Am I saying that correctly? The subject is financial report. Welcome this evening.
Good evening, School Board and Dr. Hempsel. My name is Jody Akimbo, and I was wondering if you could clarify on the financial report for September of this year, item 175.4, the Inland Casino. It shows a beginning balance on 9/1 of 2025 of $616,646.35. I was wondering if you could verify that that is the amount of funds that you would receive from the casino for this school year, and also with the ending balance of $554,908.85. It doesn't show any encumbered amounts, so I'm not sure if you have any encumbered amounts out, but I was just wondering if those were the funds that were received from the casino. Thank you.
Thank you. Just as a reminder, when people do have questions, we don't respond as the board, but we do have everyone's information that the administration, that there is a response given. Last I have Shannon. Shannon, I always say your last name wrong. Is it Giles or Giles? Giles? Giles. I am so sorry. I know, I'm so sorry. I say it in my head all of the time. I'm so sorry. Thank you for coming this evening.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Subject is Red Ribbon Week.
Yes, which is so hard to say, and I'm going to
Yes.
try not to screw it up any of the times. So, it is Red Ribbon Week. It starts on Thursday, runs through the end of next week. We are joining with communities across the state to celebrate. This year's theme is Life is a Puzzle, Solve It Drug-Free. The campaign encourages youth and adults alike to make healthy choices and reminds everyone that every decision we make is a piece of the larger puzzle, and a drug-free life is key to completing that puzzle. Red Ribbon Week is the nation's oldest and largest drug prevention campaign. Sponsored by the National Family Partnership, the initiative began in 1985 in memory of DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena, who gave his life fighting drug trafficking. Today, millions of people across the U.S. wear red ribbons and participate in school and community events to demonstrate their commitment to a drug-free lifestyle. Here's where you come in. Next Monday, the 27th at 4 o'clock, and I'm going to send you an email about this, we are doing a mayoral proclamation down at City Hall to declare it Red Ribbon Week. See, I knew I was going to screw it up once. The mayor has guard duty on Friday, or we would do it at the end of this week, but he's off doing his thing. So that's at 4 at City Hall. Also, all next week, we are at all 3 high schools and several of the middle schools. I'm going to send you schedules. If you guys would like to come and see what we're going to do, we have giant puzzles, about 3.5 by 4 feet. The kids are going to get to write their names as a pledge to stay tobacco and drug-free on one of the puzzle pieces and put the puzzles together, and we've got a bunch of giveaways. So it's going to be a fun time. So hopefully, if you guys can stop by during lunchtime at any of the middle and high schools, you can come and, sign a pledge. We also are going to have a middle school movie night this coming Sunday at Casey, at Chances and Services. It's going to start at 3:30. Kids are welcome to come in at 3. I don't know what we're showing yet. The kids haven't decided. But yeah, so we've got a whole week of events coming up, and hopefully you guys can get out and see what we're doing and participate. At the proclamation, we will have little red ribbons that you guys can get to, but if you have your own, feel free to grab one. But we encourage you all week to wear one of the red ribbons to show your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you will send that to the entire board?
We'll get it out.
Thank you, Shannon, appreciate that.
If you send it to Catherine, Catherine will make sure. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. At this time, we are moving on to comments from board members and Dr. Himsel.
First of all, thank you all for being here. Many of you probably noticed my pink tie. It's October. It's the annual Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whether it's breast cancer or it's any other cancer, I encourage everybody in the community to make sure that you get your regular checkups. Early detection is important. I'm proud of the fact that my mom was able to survive 11 years with her breast cancer, although she did pass this past summer from complications of breast cancer because of the early detection. She did have 11 years after the initial diagnosis. So I encourage everybody to do that. I also want to thank everybody who helped create the budget, particularly Donna and Cindy and the rest of their team. There's a lot that goes into it. We worked really hard to try to figure out how to make all the puzzle pieces work together, and we're proud of the fact that we maintain a property tax rate that is below the median. And we, as Mr. Skelton pointed out, we are hopeful that depending on the certification from DLGF, that it's going to go down even further and even be further below the median as we continue to work to live within those means. You'll notice throughout the entire budget process that there are limits on what we can and cannot collect. There's growth quotients, there's circuit breaker credits, there's property tax caps, all that fit together, which do limit what we have available. And I appreciate the board's work to try to figure out how to maximize that so that we do the most that we can for our kids. Our state and federal funding is the people side of things. The federal funding is through special education grants, Title I, school lunch programs, and so forth. And then the state is what funds the vast majority of our teachers, our instructional assistants, our educational assistants, secretaries, counselors, nurses, so on and so forth. We're also blessed that our community has approved an operational-based referendum or a supplemental referendum. This was not a building referendum that passed, but it was a supplemental referendum to assist in what we do, and it is used to help pay for our school protection officers, to support mental health initiatives, to help with behavior interventionists, guidance counselors, and other ways to help address our students' mental health being, as well as to help with recruiting and retainment of teachers. It also helps with the fuel for our buses to help offset some of the property tax caps or the circuit breaker credits that we have. Despite all of these limits that we have, we've worked really hard to figure out how to move forward, and we remain committed to modernizing our schools. Since I've become superintendent, we've replaced 14 chillers, 4 boilers, 5 air handling units. We've replaced 2 roofs. We're in the process of replacing a 3rd roof. We've done lots of paving projects. There's more yet to come, but we've specifically addressed traffic flow issues around Rio Grande, Dixie Bee, and Lost Creek, which have been with us for many years. We've had lighting projects at North and South and other buildings, as well as some refreshment projects to help with some of the things that students relate to, such as the North and South and West cafeterias and some other places, as well as Woodrow Wilson Middle School with the removal of wallpaper and painting and so forth throughout that building that we've been doing a little bit each year. We are thankful for Senator Good and all the other legislators who helped create the opportunity for a partnership with our county government, and most importantly, a way to utilize and find funds that does not put the entire burden on property taxes. From a school perspective, the only option we have at addressing our school facilities is through property taxes. It has been loud and clear with many people in our community, the farming community in particular, that those property taxes can be burdensome. So we appreciate the state legislature for creating a path for partnership that allows us to access and come up with a partnership that utilize other taxing entities and not solely on property taxes. We are committed to continue to work towards that partnership, and we appreciate the county's willingness to continue those conversations as well. In terms of our students, we want to say congratulations to our Terre Haute North High School Marching Band and the Terre Haute South Marching Band. Both of them will be competing at Bands of America contest this coming Friday at Lucas Oil Stadium. And both of them will be also performing on Saturday at Franklin Central High School as a part of the Scholastic Class A State Finals. I believe one of them is the first band that kicks off the whole entire state competition, and I believe the other one is the fifth band right before the break, if I remember right. We would hope that you would also stay for the 5 bands after that, but definitely if you come for the first part, you'll at least see North and South during the first part of that. And we encourage you to come and root on our kids. It's a big deal for the kids who start in marching band, and that kicks off in July. There's a lot of effort that goes into it. We also want to say congratulations to our girls cross-country team at, Katie, I forgot to write down the school, South. The South High School cross-country team, I forgot to write down the South. I apologize for that. They placed second at the sectional this past week, which means that they advanced to the regionals, which will be in Brownsburg this coming Saturday. We also want to congratulate the North and South High Schools that were part of a statewide grant from the Colts, Indianapolis Colts, to provide flag football as an option for girls to participate. And in particular, congratulations to the South High School flag football team, which qualified to go as one of the first 8 schools in the state to participate in their state finals. Unfortunately, Penn scored more points than South. Lastly, we do want to point out that tomorrow is the beginning of parent-teacher conferences, and so because of that, there is an early release time for the elementary students at 1:45 p.m. and for our secondary students, which is middle school and high school, at 2:30. That is so that we can have parent-teacher conferences into the evening and get a start for those parents who need to access that a little bit earlier in the day. So with all that, we have lots going on. Football playoffs begin. Soccer just ended. Volleyball just ended. And now we're down to cross-country and football in terms of the sports. And marching band, this is their concluding weekend.
At this time, it's comments from board members.
Well, I'd like to start off. So just one comment tonight. I really appreciate the many calls, texts, emails, and phone calls I've got supporting our school plan. So to those, thank you, and I hope the momentum keeps going because we've gotta invest in our kids, folks. It's not an easy job setting up here. It's gonna take all of us to get to that finish line, and we've gotta stay together. Mark, I appreciate you being here tonight. We've got a lot to do, but I think you guys, or our community's asked to be accountable, transparent. We are, we continue to do that. So I'm asking for support. Thank you.
Well, I will share, hearing the list that Dr. Hemsel shares after every board meeting, and to have our students here this evening to start our meeting. One is my favorite part of a board meeting, when our students come in, and then to hear the accomplishments our students are having within our corporation because of our teachers, because of our leaders. It's amazing, and I, as a board member, want to give back to those teachers and those students to do what's best for them. I am excited that there are county partnerships happening, whether it's through this revenue stream or not. I love that people are coming together at the table. Thank you, Commissioner Klinkenbeard, for helping to lead that charge and bringing us along with you. There are so many people out there supporting us and saying good things that I know we are being recognized at the state level. We are being watched as an example, and I could not be more proud of this team and this work that the county is trying to partner with us to do what's best for our kids. So thank you. Again, this board is working well together, and at all times we are willing to sit down with you, have a conversation, answer questions, or at least find those answers that you are looking for we are being transparent, we are available. You have to help meet us halfway. We can't talk to everyone in the county all the time, but please email us, reach out. We are willing to talk. Thank you. Seeing no other comments, I want to thank you all for coming this evening. Our next meeting of the School Board of Trustees is on Monday, November 17th, here at the Administration Office at 6 p.m. I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.